Hello, you guys. Welcome to 2025. I was taking my time to collect some data in the field to understand how the 2025 is gonna be. There was a lot of activity on Schumann resonance over past couple of days. We are being bombarded with the high frequency. I had a lot of vertigo. Throat chakra is massively now being cleaned. Throat chakra is connected with root and sacral chakra sideways. But the thing about the connection is because the trauma around trust is actually what is blocking your throat chakra. And the trust on the earth plane, if you don't have some like a written contract, good luck to trust someone. The way we stepped into 2025 was heavily purging everything around trust, all the insecurities, all the family lineage trauma pieces around trust. 2024 itself was extremely fast year, and 2025 is gonna be even faster. There will be a lot of years packed and squeezed into this year. So I heard 10 years being like compressed into one. I would say even a little bit more of that, but we already started with this last year. Specifically if you are the chosen one. And I'm always saying chosen one because it sounds so fancy-nancy, but the chosen ones are not chosen like to be having here at a cool fucking time. They are being chosen to chip for the poverty or for all the heavy shit. Lot of the chosen ones who are late bloomers are gonna start coming online now. You're gonna be more supported. But there is also a period that you have to work through, which I talked in the previous videos about. 2025 could be your year, but you have to address first your environment. And that's for everyone. Everyone is at the moment aligned with their own kingdom. The thing is, if you get misguided, like many starseeds on the journey do, especially the chosen ones are gonna do, we have the tendency to delude ourselves, to overcompensate, to making an exception today, and it will accumulate, and then you're being dragged down straight back to like old patterns that you used to replay 7 years ago, and you're gonna now being heavily in it. And just because you lowered your standards once, then you lower it next time, then you lower it next time, then you start people please, and it just like starts rolling. You will be in that spot as a chosen one. You will be dragged into certain like a group of the people, and you're gonna start replaying your old self, old scenarios, old patterns, cycles, astrological cycles. We are still heavily operating on the astrological clock. 99% of the people operate on the astrological clock. You don't have to be a big scientist. Until June this year, we're gonna be constantly replaying the emotional frustration of the Cancer and intellectual frustration of Gemini. At least this is a really good thing to have. There are a couple of other like astrological events to watch and like check out. I usually pointed them out when we are in it or before. I have to be diligent with the time. This year specifically, we have to simplify as much as possible. That includes how you run your business, if you're running your business, or how you're putting yourself online, or whatever you're doing. Simplify even more than before. 2025 is a fast year. It's gonna be super, super fast. 2024 was really fast. Every time I get frustrated, I remind myself that the time is going really, really fast, that we usually go through the Christmas very fast. It's way faster. It doesn't go so slow how it used to. But with that being said, the manifestations are gonna be rapid. The manifestations this year, your own, whatever is playing in front of you is your manifestation. It's the manifestation of your consciousness. I see people constantly running from the poverty. They think they are doing good, financially or in their life. But what they are doing, they are surrounding themselves with the riches or with these pictures of the wealth, right? Like having the fancy cars, having done the Botox, having the hair done, the nails done, right? The girls usually. Or wearing a crazy designer's glasses, having homes that are just showing off, having dogs that are pure breeds. And there is I still see a lot this playing out because I'm from Czech Republic. And because I'm 46, I have a vast experience on the field. I remember poverty. I remember when the communism fell down. So I understand why the people having this mentality. Running away from the scarcity mindset by surrounding yourself with the false success. That's gonna go this year. One way or another, if you are the one who is supposed to kind of break all the heavy family patterns, which Czech will be on the list as a first to dealing with poverty. Czechs and Irish are the first on the list in the drinking in Europe, drinking and smoking. They're first two nations on the top of the list. So if you Czech or Irish, you're gonna be dealing with it. You will be working through poverty and through addictions of any kind. Materialism, totally. Loss and spirituality is gonna be some option there. Who you can trust is gonna be a huge one because that's the throat chakra. The events in the 2025 are gonna be so many that you would not be able to keep up. No matter how much you watch news or how often you check what's going on in the world. It's just too fast. It's gonna be 10 years packed in one. And why is that? Because of the timeline split. So we have to make sure that we are constantly aligning to the new timeline. So careful on the rapid manifestations. I would say that's the biggest one. You will have to get on the top of your mind. You will have to watch your thoughts. There is a lot of suggestions for you to manifest, Focus will be on the building up communities. I said that many times. So the number one thing to address this year is your environment. If you didn't make any moves last year or the year before, and you're still in the same environment and you know yourself that it's not conducive for your health or your human design or your starseed design or it doesn't support your psychic development or any type of development, you will have to really address it this year. You will not be able to stay there. I can tell you that me staying in this place that long is detrimental to my health. And constantly fighting for myself, being scrutinized, about that I just don't cope with it. Or you put noise cancelling headphones on while you're living close to the freeway. I mean, come on, guys. I mean, just let's get serious here. That's bullshit. You have to move. You cannot live there. That's it, period. Same I'm not gonna continue living under the high voltage. No matter what the government is doing in here, there is so much crap. I never saw so much damage on this side of the island. Honestly. So you will be redefining how you live, what you need. We're doing this every year. It's not new. The thing is that it's gonna be the 2025 is gonna go so fast that you're not gonna be able to keep up. You're not gonna be able to keep up the appearances. It's already 4th. I hardly keep up to making some videos, editing it and putting it out there. So you will as well have to have a look on how you work. You will have to simplify as much as possible, making it as simple as possible. We came into the 2025 with this a theme of redefining the relationships. I think this is happening always around Christmas, where you start seeing your bloodline family, and where you fit into the picture, if you even fit into the picture. Now, the chosen ones usually have a massive trauma around home, trust, primary caregivers. They do not feel like they belong anywhere. And because of that, they don't even want to be here. It's too difficult. We all underestimated the volunteering to coming in, for sure. The deception is very clever. It's very damaging. The earth plane is very toxic. In 2025, focus on yourself. Focus on yourself. If you are a chosen one, in those periods when you are working through the sadness and the loneliness, because of the loneliness, it's really good to understand that it was a requirement for you to hide in those type of families that are really damaging. It was jump into the most densest place ever and suppress your gifts until you grow up and can you rework the entire structure and bring yourself online in the right time when the ascension is in the process and you're gonna be needed to do, let's say, your mission work. That's usually, it's you go in and you hide. So when you are in that lonely place and everybody disappears, let's say you have to drop all your friends, all your old friends. When you drop the last one, the moment you do it, the teacher appears. I just want to give you this beautiful hope. It happened to me so many times along the way. When I had to lose the last person in my life, who was there for me like a friend. And when I did, the same moment, I got a connection to my galactics, for example, the first time. The second time, a Lori Ladd appeared for me, so I joined her cosmic circle as in the community, so I learned actually about my own psychic abilities. Just because I dropped one friend that was, we were not really going, let's put it this way, you don't go in the same speed. Once your consciousness is a little bit further up, and the other is not catching up. If you really choose to go drop that person, because you understand that for that person the best thing you can do is actually remove yourself. Once you understand that part, you can do it more often. You will not be scared anymore to be alone or to go through the loneliness again and through the sadness. You're gonna find yourself in the situation when you're gonna dilute yourself and start hanging around with the people again, because you just need a connection. You understand that we need a physical connections as well, like as a humans. So you dilute yourself and you start hanging around with, I don't know, people who smoke or drink or eat a bunch of crap, right? But you cannot do it for too long. You're gonna drag yourself, in a place that you're gonna be miserable, and you will find again the void. It will not fulfill you. You will see that the relationships once fulfill you are not fulfilling you anymore. So when you drop those guys again, a new teacher will appear. It's always like that. Every time I lost a person in my life, a new teacher appeared for me. Because only there you can get delivered certain information. I don't know how to explain it. I use this quote. When the student is ready, the teacher appears. The right teacher appears, right? You heard that quote many times. When I started doing these videos, I started to doing it for myself, to practice reading the earth plane and practice my throat chakra. So practically I'm failing, putting it out there, constantly it's an endless, hideous job. But the sound and the speech is what you need to do for the throat chakra to really work it through. You need to express it. The trust and the insecurities that come with all of it are gonna be always located in your throat, actually. Together with all the bottom chakras, right? The chosen ones came here to dismantle the matrix, the 3D matrix. If your journey is particularly difficult and you want to talk about it, you know where to find me. In 2024, we went through a massive expansion in awareness. Stepping into 2025 was the same because of what is happening on the Schumann resonance as well. At least for me, it was going in through these 4 days was wow, I just noticed stuff which I didn't notice before. But because of the Kundalini awakening, Kundalini is radical. And she doesn't care about how much you are trying to either shut it down or sabotage the process. So the 2024 was amazing. Really, it brought so much awareness for you. 2025 is even bigger in that. It's gonna be a rapid growth in awareness. Awareness requires a lot of energy, by the way. Being aware, you're gonna be tired. There's a lot of fatigue going on at the moment, so you have to retreat and recharge right now. A lot of puzzle pieces fall into the place, and that created definitely bigger picture for you. A lot of star seeds that were activated on the hybridization program and alien abduction agenda was working through it the entire year. I was uncovering all these pieces here with the entities It was really interesting. I'm still not ready to share this. But I will. One day I will. I have to first operate in the secrecy. There's a rapid flow of information. You're gonna be overwhelmed by what is going on online. I keep it short this time because there is always, I have more, but I think this one will do for now, and I have a couple of other things I want to talk about, especially like support the chosen ones as well right now, because a lot of the late bloomers are coming online. When you start coming online, that's when you start working through the most heaviest shit. People think that they have it all, I'm like after a container weekend, they start sharing and I'm like watching it and I was like, okay, so wait a minute, like how 2-3 years doing the channel, how much crap is gonna come up to the surface, all the insecurities, all value, trust, shame, guilt, or doubts, especially the doubts and fears or limitations are coming. Always, all of this package around the throat chakra is gonna come the moment you put yourself online. That you are willing to fight for your truth and be receiving the scrutiny, for example. A lot of entities are gonna try to drag you down in those moments. So you're gonna be tested on how strong you're really standing in your truth, or not in your truth. There is this like fluff around, oh, this is my truth, this is your truth, and this kind of stuff. I'm talking about the universal truth, like how this operates. There is an objective truth. There is a law how this universe functions, how the reality works, which no one can break. There are 5, I think, basic laws. You cannot cease to exist. You exist, that's it. That's the first law. Everything is one. The law of one. And then there is other laws. Everything changes. That's a third law. Everything changes but those 2 laws. So you're infinite being, not immortal. Everybody who speaks about immortality is on the other timeline. Because that was the Fibonacci spiral, and that was the ideology of like replacing, locking the original infinite and using the finite over it, because they could not become infinite anymore. So they have to become immortal, so they are feeding off you, the entities, for example. So they need us to be fed of our misery, to constantly continue being like immortal. But your design is infinite. I heard yogi, I think it was Sadhguru, talking about like when, I don't know actually what it really means, but if you put the hand above your head, the awakened person having an infinity symbol swirling over it. That's why there is this infinity symbol above these cards of magician, let's say in some of the decks. I can tell you, I feel that infinity symbol in my throat these past couple of days or weeks maybe. I know it was above the head, which is fascinating. There are a lot of things how the chakra system operates, which I never really heard of or read about, which is interesting. So this is my own kind of research on that, and I would say I would love to hear someone who's got Kundalini awakening and if he has this type of like feelings. or like how the chakra system works. I never heard anyone talking about it. The same like third eye pulsing. I know only 2 people who talked about it, and that's Daniel Scranton and Feel Good. With throat chakra comes as well the vertigo. Vertigo, what I find out, if you spin clockwise, you are moving in the good direction. You are moving to the right timeline. If you spinning counterclockwise, you are doing something that is actually moving you away from that. So that's a good tool to have. It's like, and then I'm in this way or that way. One more thing. If you're trying to manifest something, you are not waiting. You have to ask for demonstration. You have to command your reality. And I leave you with this one in here. So I see you next time. Bye. And happy 2025. Keep eye on your mind.